All right, so now we have our image gridded out in a 1-inch grid. Okay, I have 10 boxes going across this way, and I decided instead of the 8 boxes, I'm going to cut it off at 7. So I have a 7 by 10 photograph. I measured my paper that I'm going to grid it onto, and this is a 12 by 9-inch sheet of paper. So the image is going to have a 1-inch margin. So I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to make my border first. So I'm going to line up my ruler and I'm going to make a mark at the 1-inch and at the 11-inch because we're going to have 1 inch on either side here. And I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom of the sheet at the 1-inch and the 11-inch. Then I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to line up the tick marks again. And I'm going to make a line. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And now I'm going to turn my paper and I'm going to make my 1-inch margin again. So lining up the ruler to the edge of the sheet of paper here. And we're going to go to the 1-inch and to the 8-inch. And then the same exact thing at the bottom of the paper. Make a mark at the 1-inch and the 8-inch. And then I'm going to take my ruler again and I'm going to line up the marks and complete my margin. Here we go. And now you can erase these edges if you want, so you have a nice clean border. Okay. And now we want to make our grid so that we can start to copy our image. So again, we're doing a 1-inch grid. So now I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to line it up to that inside line, my margin line, and I'm going to make marks at every inch mark on the ruler. And now again at the bottom. And so inside this box should measure 10 inches because that is the size of the image that we are going to be redrawing here. And again, line up your marks. And now for the grid, you don't want to make your marks too dark. I'm making mine a little darker so that you can see them in the video. But you don't want to make them too dark because if you have an area that will have lighter values and bright highlights, if your pencil marks are too dark and you can't erase them completely, you'll be able to see them in your final product. So try to make your lines a little bit lighter than you see mine here in the video. That way they can easily be erased. All right, we're almost done with our grid. We just have to do our 1-inch lines going the other way. So now again, we're going to line up our ruler nice and straight. And we're going to make marks at every inch once again. And now this side should measure out to 7 inches because that is the area that we are using on our image. And these numbers might change depending upon the size of your image that is printed out. But if you measure out your image and you use a 1-inch grid, it should be fairly easy to figure out the math of your margin and border and the area that you should be drawing in. Of course, I can help you with the math too. All right. There we go. And now we have our grid.